What's up everyone, this is Save Night and welcome back to Let's Play Home for the PC. Possibly finale episode? Maybe, not sure. Last episode I entered a storefront that was owned by Norman, one of your friends from the factory, and put his gun away because he happened to have a gun rack that was missing the gun that you had. So that's, gotten rid of. Excuse me. And, you happen to find his dead body. And you also found, like, a ton of Rachel stuff there for some reason. Like, in his attic and in his bedroom. So it's like, wait, the what? It's like, okay. Wouldn't have been able to deal with seeing Norman again. I was so close to home. It was time to move on. It was locked, this wasn't the right gate. Jesus, how fucking big is this damn thing? Had the wrong gate, this one was locked. There we go. The other one, it didn't really do anything. The neighbor's local post box. The letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it in all the way. Knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out, away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him. Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me? Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves that much. Deserves at least that much. Goodbye. I didn't know what to think. My mind was racing. My heart was pounding. To get home, I just had to. Okay, so yeah, so methinks Rachel was having an affair. Is that the right thing? Nope. Nope, not his house. One gate here. Another one there, and bloody smear marks. Nope, not mine either. God damn. There we go. Had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Never did fix this gate. It was stuck. I needed to press on. There was no turning back at that point. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? The table was clean. It hadn't been used any time recently. The door to the basement was locked. Where'd I put the damn key? There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had it been away? Why hadn't Rachel pick this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? Ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Didn't make any sense. The front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out though. I need to see if Rachel was here. Door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. I found the last missing piece from my wallet, the old photo of Rachel, and eyes stared back at me, reminding me of better times. Didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? I placed a fold in my wallet, feeling like I had got a part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? I don't know. Achievement unlocked: stolen identity. Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. Felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Well, it's your money, so fuck her. Okay, that was a locked door thing. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. Wasn't sure I really wanted to. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. Lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. It seemed impractical at time, but it was part of what made the house home. My laptop had been left on and only a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yeah. Pocketed the key. The laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man at the house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Inside Rachel's suitcase were a few days' worth of clothes, some personal effects, and a train ticket. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date and time matched the receipt I had found. Rachel, why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? Well, the letter thing said that she was... that it made it seem like she possibly had an affair with him. Damn, okay. I unlocked the basement door. The old Christmas decorations in the box. Can you remember our last Christmas? Garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take it? Yeah. Took the small key and I tried to remember what it unlocked. There was plaster and an old trowel in here too. But old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. We had way too much junk. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and drywall was poorly installed. Might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. Looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take it? Yep. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. By the looks of it, the crowbar had broken a few things. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes, I did. The heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? There was no turning back now. I had to face whatever was down there. What? I can't look? Yeah, it's a big fucking basement, goddamn. Don't look. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? I'm gonna say no. I don't know if he can bear not, seeing his wife under that. The rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside that tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What I'd been searching for this entire time. I remembered the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? Then the awful realization hit me right in the gut. I've been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? What? I stumbled back upstairs, the pain in my leg just a dull ache now, and sat down and... what? Mine was spinning, and the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion, and as I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this, I must have drifted off. Okay, let's remember things my own way. I guess the books were all actually mine then. What? My head was pounding. This is my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes, I guess. At least how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. What does that mean? Okay. That's kind of weird, I guess. It was a photo of the other man and his wife that I found in that house. Wait, what? Those really his wife's remains in those tunnels? Certainly seems so. But did I think that the man murdered his wife and buried her in the tunnels? It kind of seemed like it. What else did that mean? There were some questionable things in those tunnels. What else was he wrapped up in? Who killed that man anyway? Broken mirror, I could see my face, gaunt now, hollow and sickly, and immensely troubled. What other illusions had I dreamed up? What other truths were waiting to be exposed? The dirty faded glass looked like nothing more than a faint shadow. I told myself that Rachel was the one who wanted to keep the tub. Last time I showered, I smelled awful. What? The what? It was the key card I found at the bottom of that factory locker. I never did bother to use it. Someone had been going through those lockers and poking around the plant. Still, it didn't quite add up. Was I the one who had been going back to the factory? Everything looks like it points to yes. Guess it could have been me, but what I've been doing there. I made up my... okay. Last time I'd finally run out of power. How long had I been left running? I don't know. You're fucking shit. There was the letter I had taken from the post box. It had gotten a bit wet in the rain. But if, well, who wrote that letter then? Was it Norman seeing? If no, Norman. Oh no, Norman. If I was wrong about Rachel, then what about him? Did I do that horrible thing to him? I'm not even sure. Maybe? I must have, but why? Why did we fight? Or was I tricked into thinking he was sneaking around with, well, with Rachel? What was happening to me? Okay, this is just getting fucking wackadoo crazy now. So he was stepping out on you with she was stepping out on you with Norman, so you killed him? The OT for so long I didn't know if I could ever replace it. It was a piece of junk, but I couldn't really afford anything newer. What happened to that? Okay. names written alongside those odd marks in different colors were printed in that notebook. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose. I recall the names I saw scratched out and on that old desk, deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man in that house really up to something? My old office safe sat on the floor. He used a digital passcode lock. Did you try to open it? The safe used an 8-digit code. What was that damn code again? I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck the code was. Seemed like I'd seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Pile of mail on the floor. I now saw was addressed to me. Bills, credit card offers, a letter from the bank. They were all addressed to me. Wait, did I leave and say goodbye to that nightmare forever? No, not yet. By the looks of it, I hadn't collected the mail in over a week. How many breakfasts had I eaten there completely alone? Come to think of it, I didn't think I'd even had guests over. Okay, so... if I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? What? If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? Okay. The wall was cracked and pitted. Told my inspector basement had been partially filled in before I bought the house, but by the look of that wall, I was going to need to fix the foundation. Everything smelled musty and old down here. Okay. Okay, so I'm seriously confused. Either Rachel left me for Norman, or she didn't exist. That's what I'm picking up so far. Wait, why the hell did I just pick up the knife? Only must have toiletries by the sink. Old cloth for the bathtub hadn't been cleaned nearly enough still. It would probably do. You showed me the truth. I wasn't sure there was any reason to keep on going. So what do you think? Should I just end this misery? Ooh, no. If you say so. Okay, wow. I needed to escape that nightmare, but what about the knife I still carried? I wondered, even if I left, would it be really over? Did I leave the house forever? Yeah. Since I had arrived in town, things have been difficult. Working in the plant, though, have been good for me. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense sometime after that, and my memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been the worst of my entire life. Would it even be possible to bounce back from everything that had happened? Everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I hadn't even woken up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. That man I had found in the old house had killed his wife. I was sure of it, just as sure as you killed mine. After making out of those tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I'd watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. Who was that? That was attacked? What I had been doing at Norman's place? Even in that old forest? It didn't look good, that's for sure. Had I been responsible for what happened there? What did you think? Was I guilty? Or was I just mad? That forest, though, was no escape either. That notebook, especially, left me troubled. I remember seeing a similar list on that desk back in the tunnels. Who were the girls mentioned there? I suspected there was more of those woods than I knew, though I had no intention of going back. You think it was me going back to the old factory? I guess maybe you're right. but I didn't remember a thing about it. Not rummaging through those lockers, not that mess outside, none of it. Was it just sleepwalking again? Could I have gone that far, done that much? Somehow I get the feeling you don't entirely trust me. Had to catch my breath to take it all in. At each point until the factory, things only had gotten worse. But then going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all this really started to change. Norman, you bastard. I had killed you, and it was clear to me now why. You had taken Rachel from me. You were going to take her away altogether. In the end, you got what you deserved. But as painful as all that was, couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I'd seen and done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end of this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that it was going at the beginning. When I first stepped through the kitchen door, the silence had been unnerving. But to think I went through all that, completely unaware of what I would discover. Had I killed Norman, thinking that he and, well, that there was something going on? Everything that I held dear and true was now spinning around me. Had nothing to ground me, nothing to give me purpose, or even the faintest hope of reason. Without Rachel, without what I thought was Rachel, I was lost forever. As the door swung open, I could smell damp grass and the closeness of the air. After everything, it felt like I had more questions than answers. You made me see the truth. I'll give you that, but now I was completely lost. You took away the only thing that had kept me going. I was sure word would get out, and soon enough the police would come looking for me. And what then? Would you be there to show me the way? What will I do then? Okay, wow, that was very interesting. Wait, what the hell are all these people? Lufa? So home is dedicated to my wife Nancy. Watch your back. Okay, that was really interesting. Don't really need what happened. Share your story and read other players' interpretations. So let me see if I get this right. You were married to Rachel, best friends with Norman. You and Norman worked at a factory. Factory went out of business, or shut down, or whatever. You started drinking and sleepwalking. And then Rachel possibly went to Norman for things, or I guess for, like, you know, comforting and whatever, and apparently they had an affair by the looks of the letter that you found in the mailbox. You found out you killed Norman. What are those other people? Why were they there? Why were all those other people dead? Like the two in the forest and the old man in the house and all that other shit. Who the fuck were all they? Them, whatever. And then you come back and Rachel's gone, so did she really kill them and frame you, or what the fuck happened? That's really weird. Okay, well, there we go. That's the end of Home. I'm actually going to go do multiple gameplays for different, you know, endings, because apparently you can get like different endings, as you clearly saw. So I'm going to actually go back at some point and do some of those. So I mean, it was fun. It was creepy at some parts, but you know, it was interesting. So yeah, so until next time, this is Save Night on Let's Play Home. See y'all next game. Later, guys.